Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and today we're going to take a look at one of the most well-known, one of the best, and absolutely one of the most controversial bodybuilders in the history of the game. This is Shawn Ray, and I've done a series of these videos before when I first started my channel. We're going to be redoing some of them, including this one here with Shawn Ray. Unscripted, of course. I watched the old videos. I think I wrote down every word I said. But these are going to be a little bit more casual, a little bit different. But we're not going to be talking about the controversy. This guy, post-career, he gets on the mic and he says a lot of things. Hey, back in my day, you had to actually do something bad to, be hated. He says a lot of things controversially, but we're going to take a look at his physique and his career. And speaking of physiques, this guy was second to none. Very aesthetically pleasing, but also packed a pile of muscle. Here is Ray's career in its entirety, and it looks like he put some hustle behind that hustle. Wait a second, there's no Russell. But yeah, it says he began in 84. This is him actually in 83. So he did start doing some competitions back in 83. He was just a teen. Talk about premium genetics. Not to be like a horse, but I mean, this guy is extra special. He won his first show, in my estimation, in 1984. It was the Teen Mr. Los Angeles, or Los Angeles, competition. 1985, he won the Junior Worlds, and in 86, he fell down to second place at the Junior Nationals. But in 1987 is when Ray really come into his own. He won the California Championships, and then, of course, he won the NPC Nationals, and you know what that means. On to the IFBB, and what a beginning of just an historic career. He got fourth at the 1988 Night of Champions, which was not too bad, and then he dove into the deep pool, the Olympia. He placed 13th, guys. He got lost in the pack. You can see... Robbie Robinson was there in 88. There was so many guys, couldn't see to swing a punch. Ray ultimately placed 13th at the 1988 Mr. Olympia event. And then, in 1989, it was a very productive year for Shawn. He didn't compete. He, in my estimation, he refined his physique. He trained. And when he returned in 1990, it was well worth the efforts, guys. He placed first at the 1990 Ironman. He defeated, as you can see here, Mike Ashley. I believe that is also Gary Stridham, who I think he got fourth. Comerford, I believe Vince Comerford got third in that event. But either which way, guys, 2 weeks after the Ironman, Ray was set to compete at the 1990 Arnold Classic, in which case he won. He actually won. He placed first over Mike Ashley, the same guy at the Ironman. But here's the thing. They awarded Shawn with the trophy. They gave him the medal. He went home. He had his trophy on his mantle. And then he went up to Canada, if I'm not mistaken, to do some seminars, and he got the call. Apparently, he failed the drug test. The Arnold Classic, 1990 Arnold Classic, was the first of its kind. It was drug tested, and Shawn was disqualified. They took the money away from him and the trophy, and they awarded it all to Mike Ashley, who still till this very day claims to be a lifetime natural bodybuilder, which is, of course, controversial. Then, the 1990 Olympia was also drug tested, but they were able to get the results before the event. So it was less embarrassing to actually have to strip somebody of the title. So Shawn Ray competed. Joe Weider told him, come compete in my Olympia, and we'll have you drug tested before the event. And lo and behold, Shawn Ray passed, and he got third. So from 13th in 88 all the way to third place, Shawn Ray was now a player in the IFBB. On to 1991, and Shawn Ray would win the Arnold Classic. This time it would stick. He would not be disqualified. I believe they lifted all the testing, things of that nature. Wink, wink. So on to the Olympia, and I don't know. He wasn't too bad. He plummeted down to 5th place. I guess it's not really a plummet, but from 3rd to 5th, this was your top 6. Of course, Dorian Yates, he appeared on the scene, and he was new onto the IFBB, or the Olympia scene anyway. And I guess that was a thorn in Shawn Ray's side, as well as Lee Labrada, who he placed under. Now, 1992, Shawn would place fourth, and again, he would place right underneath Lee Labrada. So this was very interesting. It was a matchup between Lee Labrada and Shawn Ray, and in 1993, it was the same thing again. He was standing next to Lee Labrada, but this time, he defeated him. But this time, there was also a new thorn in his side. It was Flex Wheeler. So it always seemed like with Shawn Ray, when one guy would retire, there would be another new guy come along and place ahead of him. But in 1994, it was Shawn Ray's turn or his chance, I guess you could say. There was no Flex Wheeler. Flex was injured that year at the Olympia, so Shawn Ray, he capitalized. He looked at his all-time best. And to make matters worse for Dorian Yates, he was a little bit bloated in the midsection, and he tore that bicep. And Shawn, looking like he did, he was a shoo-in to win the Olympia in 1994. But it was not meant to be. Look at how upset Shawn is. And of course, anybody would be upset. Still till this very day, many people claim Shawn should have won the 1994 Mr. Olympia event. But Dorian Yates, he's the champion. Shawn took second. 1995, Shawn, I love the 95 Shawn Ray. He was so crisp, but the funny thing is, there was another new thorn for Shawn to have to deal with, this time a big one in Nasser El-Sombaudi. Nasser got third. Of course, in 95, Kevin Levrone got second, and Dorian Yates wins again. And of course, Ray gets bumped down to fourth. On to 1996, and Ray decided to do something different. He decided to compete in a couple of other events, including the 1996 Ironman. And prior to this, he has been competing exclusively at the Olympias, and perhaps he was a little bit out of his element. Not sure what went wrong, but he got third at the Ironman. Paul Dillette defeated him. And then he actually competed at the Arnold Classic, where he took fifth. Not only did he lose to these two cats, Flex Wheeler and Kevin Levrone, he also lost to Vince Taylor. And also Paul Dillette once again, too. But you know what? Whether he was out of his element or maybe we don't know what was going on in his head. Maybe he was just practicing or prepping for the 1996 Olympia. It was his third event in a row. And you know what? Shawn looked awesome. He was perhaps at his all-time best at the 96 Olympia. From behind, he was full, crisp, and perhaps a weak point of his was the back. I don't know. In 96, he looked pretty darn good. Of course, at the end of the night, Dorian Yates wins again. And Shawn Ray takes a second place finish. By 1997, I think Shawn Ray maybe even seen the writing on the wall. He looked absolutely stunning, as usual. And compared to Dorian Yates, I mean, who would you rather look like? I'm sure 90% of the people would say, I'd rather look like Shawn Ray. Shawn didn't even get second in 97. He took third. Nasser El-Sombaudi, of course, placed ahead of him. And if you put these three guys in a lineup, I don't know. Shawn Ray looks perhaps the best. 1998, Dorian Yates was gone. So if there was ever a year that people were going to bet on Shawn Ray, of course, Nasser was there, Kevin Levrone was there, would have been 1998. But at the end of the day, Ronnie King Coleman, he leapfrogged everybody. And he, of course, began his reign of terror in bodybuilding. I mean, the year prior, Ronnie got 9th, so nobody even seen him on the radar. And Flex Wheeler, food for thought, he took second place in 98. Kevin Levrone, or actually Nasser El-Sombaudi took third, and Kevin Levrone took fourth. And that put Shawn Ray all the way down to 5th place, a place that he has not seen since 1991. So I'm sure he was quite dejected. 1999, it was the same old story. He placed 5th once again. And of course, as usual, he did look outstanding in 1999. 2000, he was bumped up to 4th place. And by 2001, he took another 4th place finish. And that was it for Shawn Ray. He looked awesome. He looked, in my opinion, almost as good as he ever looked, which really makes him one of, if not the most consistent bodybuilders of all time. Food for thought, this was his 13th Olympia competition, which tied the then record, which he shared the record, I should say, with Al Beckles. So between Al Beckles and Shawn Ray, they had the most Olympia competitions with 13. And what a career, guys, Shawn Ray. So if you don't appreciate some of the things that he said or that he's done after his career, I am sure we can all agree that Shawn Ray, the physique, it's one of the best physiques that's ever stepped foot on the bodybuilding stage. Not only that, but in my opinion, I think Shawn Ray had the best posing routines out of anybody. He was perhaps the best poser, and that's an opinion, guys. That's an opinion. It is probably controversial, but you watch his 99 routine, all of his other routines, just incredible. So there you have it, guys. Shawn Ray, an outstanding career, averaging 4th place at the Olympia, competing 13 times. He took 4th 4 times, he took 3rd 3 times, he took 2nd twice. You guys know that little factoid? I'm sure Shawn Ray does. Should be proud of himself. I'm sure everybody that's related to him is very proud of all the accomplishments, all the achievements that he has created, or that he has accomplished. Look at that Arnold Classic trophy, for goodness sakes. Should be too. Hit thumbs up on the video. Don't tell that to Mike Ashley. Hit thumbs up on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great one.